All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 8th, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody in digital land, cyber land, talking about Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. Everybody, thank you for being here, helping you find value in my content. All right, my SPY pivot this morning, 590.80. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are in daily downtrends. SPY closed 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. SPY, IWM, Diamond Dow, QQQ, all made lower highs and lower lows, closing under their traps, under their 17 EMAs. Big red candles to the downside. FNGU, a little bit different, made an outside day closing under the trap, under the 17. Gold in a downtrend, made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Silver also in a downtrend, made higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Gold and silver both in daily downtrends still. UNG and USO both in daily uptrends. UNG made a lower low and a lower high, closing under the bullish trap but over the 17. USO in an uptrend made an inside day. That's a lower high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. US dollar index still ratcheting up in an uptrend, closed near the 108.66 area. Okay, yesterday dollar was kind of pulling back, and I guess they lost a lot of that pullback. I had hope. All right, anyways, let's go take a look at some charts this morning. See if we can get this done rather quickly so I can get it out there and posted. Let's start with some charts. Don't tell me I X'd out my charts. All right, give me just a second while that cranks up. Anyways, here's the US dollar index in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. As you can see, price action pulled back. Here we go. Here's some charts. All right. Back in business. All right. Here's a chart of the SPY. All right. Here's our daily candle. Big red candle to the downside. Got a downtrend line. Gave respect to that downtrend line. Again, lower high, lower low. Closing under the trap, under the 17, still in a downtrend. Had they taken out that peak right there, see the peak between the two valleys, had they taken out that peak that rises up over the 17 there, if they take that out, that would be an uptrend. They don't have to take out the all-time highs. Okay, that could have been an uptrend. All right, but they failed to do it. You see, big red candle to the downside. Okay, so we're just kind of looking like a wedge consolidation. I'm just going to take this low right here and string that up right there. So we'll see where we go from there today. Okay, so there's the wedge kind of playing out right now. All right, so there's SPYs. Take a look at the 10-minute chart. Into the close, we had faster moving average, 3 EMA. Okay, down under the 8 EMA, that's the white thin line, and the falling 17 EMA right here. So candles and the 3 underneath the 8 and the 17. That's a 10-minute downtrend right there. Okay, on the 2-hour chart, okay, got ourselves a 2-hour downtrend. Again, candles and the 3 EMA underneath the white line and the 17 EMA, okay? So now we got a 2-hour downtrend. So we got daily downtrend, 2-hour downtrend, 10-minute downtrend. Okay, big red candle. Question is, are we going to get any follow-through on that big red candle? All right, if not, maybe we give respect to this uptrend line, find ourselves back up here at the downtrend line, kind of ping-ponging back and forth till we break out. We'll see what happens, all right? So there's 2-hour chart with the 10-minute chart. Let's drill down to the game plan. So we'll drill down to the 5-minute chart on the game plan. Okay, morning pivots, 590.80 right here. Looking for green erases red. Okay, so where's the red? All the way up here. Okay, so that's about 592.45. That would be green erasing all of the red. Let me get my drawing tools out, and let's point out the red. Okay, so we came from this high, and we went down to this low right here. So green takes out the red. That's our entry, 592.45 right there. That's our bullish entry. On the bearish side, let's trash that out. All right, on the bearish side, we take out this low right here. Let me move that. Let's move this down just a little bit there. Okay, so taking out that low right there, okay, that would be the bearish entry. So below 587.75 area right there. Below 587.75, that's our bearish entry to the downside. So below that, I want to be a bear. For the options, I like Friday options. I always like Friday options. I like Friday options because they got more open interest. So we're looking at 2 DTEs and 9 DTEs, okay? Because Friday is today's Wednesday, right? So you got Thursday and Friday. There's 2 days right there. So 2 DTEs and 9 DTE Friday options. I like them $2 to $5 out of the money, all right? That's only because I have a small account. All right, now if I had a big account, I could probably take them in the money and be a little bit safer. But I like them out of the money because I got a small account and I'm able to buy more contracts that way. All right, so that's the morning SPY game plan. Again, up over 592.45, I'm a bull. Under 587.75, I'm a bear. So gotta say, that's a pretty wide spread there. But that's just the morning game plan, okay? So once we get going in the day and we set up some higher lows and lower highs and, and higher highs and lower lows, we'll have a better idea how to play it from there. We're just dealing with all the information that we got from yesterday, all right? So there's the SPY. Let's go take a look at QQQ, all right? All right, QQQ, let's start off with the daily chart. Let's pick up a clean one here. Okay, QQQ, again, big red candle, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, giving respect to the downtrend line right here. Okay, so price action for QQQ. Looking, big red candle, looking for the follow through on that. Notice a little doji candle up here, kind of a pause, and then we had the melt off. Okay, so QQQ still in a downtrend. Had they taken out this peak between the two valleys here, okay, I'll show you the valleys. Okay, so here's, get the smaller one. Okay, got a valley here and up there. We've got a valley here and up there. So that peak right there between the two valleys, had they taken that out, that would have been an uptrend. So we're still in a downtrend. But we're still in the upper quadrant up here, okay? So you notice we still closed up in quadrant 4, all right? See that? Still in quadrant 4, up over a prior all-time high. Really don't need that. Could probably use this one instead, okay? So up over a prior all-time high, anchored VWAP there. Okay, so here's the all-time high. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, that's right. That's the blue line. All right, so up over the all-time high, prior all-time high, anchored VWAP. Still looking good up here in quadrant 4, all right? Just not moving up at this time. Let's build a game plan for QQQ. All right, we'll start off with 10-minute chart. Let's find the pivot. Pivot's probably going to be this line right here, okay? So we're going to move the pivot down to there. All right, so that's, let's call it right there. Okay, so 516.79. So we'll build this out. 516.79. Okay, green erases red right here, right over that peak. So take that down, and what's that peak? Is 518.86. That's 518.86. There's our green erases red. And red erases green underneath these right here. And so let's take this down. Come on. Right there. Okay, so that's 514.37. All right, so there's our game plan. All right, for the QQQ. 514.37. Hope I get that right. My eyes aren't that good. All right, so here's the QQQ game plan. All right, let's go take a look at some of the other indices. All right, so there's our game plan. Start off with the daily chart. Come down here to the scratch. Go up here to the IWM. Okay, IWM on the daily chart, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the falling 17 EMA. Price action moving up and giving it up. It's just neutral right here, okay? They give it up and more, that's bearish, okay? Price action goes up, gives it up, that's just neutral. Okay, so we're kind of banging and popping along, bouncing along this midpoint area right here. So there's IWM. Kind of on minor support right through here. Start melting through that. That's not good. All right, so there's IWM. Still in a downtrend there. Just neutral on IWM. Still at the midpoint. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, same thing. All right, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. A little bit healthier. Notice they're not bouncing on the midpoint. Okay, so, but still neutral. Moving up, giving it up, that's still neutral right there on Diamond Dow. Need them to take out a high, all right? So they got a lot of work. Notice we don't have any candles up over the 17 here, so they would have to visit all the way back up here to the all-time high. IWM on the reverse side, they don't have any candles up over the all-time over the 17 except for right here. So they have to visit all the way back up there in order to convert the downtrend into an uptrend. So there's IWM. All right, let's take a look at the last one, FNGU. All right, FNGU outside day, higher high, lower low, closing like the others under the trap, under the 17 EMA, flat 17 EMA as opposed to a falling 17 EMA. So FNGU on the daily chart, still in a downtrend because they took out this low. That's those candles that closed below the 17. They made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend. If they take out this peak between the two valleys, they'll be in an uptrend. They will negate the downtrend and convert it to an uptrend. FNGU, big red candle, looking for follow through today. Getting a little bit. We'll see how far they want to go. So there's FNGU. Take a look at our technicals, T2122. You can see we bounced, made a higher low right here, bounced up toward the midpoint, but then the bears took over. All right, and then they pushed price all the way down into the bulls camp. That would be the sell zone. And they just camped out and made the bulls uncomfortable all day long. That's it. Just chopped around right in there. Constant selling, selling, selling. Played mind tricks on the bears, on the bulls' brains. Let me just say, just selling, selling, selling right there. Camping out inside the sell zone. T2123, as you can see, this would be yesterday's candle. See the 7 right here. Put a line in. You can see red from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Just constant selling all day long. Putting in more space between that falling 200 SMA and the price action with the 17 EMA right there. So there's T2123. Now we're going to look at the same chart, but it's going to be on a 3-bar. Now if we look at this, that's a bear flag, really long, getting a breakout now to the downside. We'll see how far down they want to go. All right, I would expect this prior all-time high to provide support. This one did not provide much support. Got a little bounce coming in before it. Got a little bounce when we spiked it. Came back through, kind of H-pattern rollover underneath it there. That's T2123. 15-minute chart. Big dip in that 200 SMA on the 15. Let's take a look at the 3-bar. All right, 200 relatively flat up here. Still a whole lot of price action to the downside. Okay, Got ourselves still the same bear flag. As you can see, price action coming down to this prior all-time high right there. It's not an anchored VWAP. It's just a prior all-time high where price action made an all-time high before. So here we made an all-time high when we got there on this candle right here. And this green one, that's another prior all-time high. But you see we melted through that one. So we'll see how much further we want to go. I think this is going to provide some support. Just going to take their time getting there, but I think that will provide some support, and we'll get probably a head and shoulders pattern, and then we'll see how far the right arm wants to extend up if they can get back up over this flat 200 SMA. That's T2123. Let's take a look at FNGU. You can see FNGU here's 7. Okay, you can see all the green dots. Here's 7 right there, everything to the right of that white line. All right, so there's 7. Price action selling from the beginning of the day all the way into the end of the day there. Okay, underneath VWAP, and we stayed under VWAP the whole day. Found our way back underneath the 200 SMA. Kind of held it for one day. That's about it. And then we faded. All right, and we got caught in a downtrend line right through there. All right, so there's price action. Underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, we were up there for one day, and then we lost it. Kind of like SPY. SPY did the same thing. They got up there for one day, and then they lost it. So there's FNGU. All right, let's take a look at some sectors. Let's start off with some good news. Here's UNG. Not really good news, but in an uptrend right here. Pull back yesterday. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, but over rising 17 EMA. Price action, moving up, giving it up. Just neutral. All right? See price action moving up, giving it up, but creating a higher high. That's bullish. So this would be neutral bullish right there. Okay, price action. Closing over the 17, up in quadrant 3 now. Okay, look at this. We were up in quadrant 4 for a moment. All right, just for a split time right there. UNG in an uptrend. USO also in an uptrend. Wow, look at that. That's a high flyer. All right, inside day yesterday. Lower high, higher low, closing over the trap, over the rising 17 EMA. Challenging this peak between the two valleys. I would expect price action to consolidate right along there for probably 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week and a half before finally taking out that high. Okay, so again, consolidation over prior consolidation is bullish. All right, let's see if they can hold that higher ground. All right, that's what we need them to do. I like it when security or indice holds the higher ground. That gives me inspiration to buy it. And making higher lows also gives me inspiration to buy it. So if they came back and made a higher low here, and then I saw price action, the bulls step in, that would be interesting for me. That would grab my attention. All right, just like they did here. Okay, they made a high pullback, higher low. All right, and then the bulls obviously stepped in. Look, they made a new high. So USO in an uptrend. Got to break out of this. We got a brick wall up here. I'm just going to say it bluntly, right like that. Okay, so right across the top of this, you can see we've been up here once. Couldn't quite get there this time. Twice. Couldn't quite get there this time. 4 times. There's 5th time, okay? So probably going to create a little handle to the cup right here, all right? That's what I'm looking for. Maybe this is the handle to a small cup. Big handle, small cup. We'll see, but I'm expecting consolidation anyways right through this area. And it would be normal to have consolidation right through there for about a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. We'll see, all right? They already started. They got 1, 2, 3 days so far. Okay, so there's USO on the daily chart in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. All right, let's take a look at precious metals. Start off with silver. All right, silver moving up, giving it up, kind of neutral bearish here. You notice they're underneath the midpoint, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's a 12-year high anchored VWAP, forgive me. All right, 12-year high anchored VWAP, prior 12-year high anchored VWAP. Price action making lower highs and lower lows. It's a downtrend. Got ourselves a little double bottom here, right on top of quadrant 1. They're sure are taking their time making it back to the 12-year high anchored VWAP and the midpoint. All right, so price action for yesterday, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap over the 17. All right, maybe they can turn this thing around. We'll see what happens. All right, still in a downtrend. Okay, gold, still in a downtrend as well. All right, price action in the upper third, a little bit healthier than silver. All right, so we got higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, but underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. All right, so just barely got underneath there. They're back up there this morning. Nice look for gold. Gold, if they take out this peak right here, they'll have themselves an uptrend. Got to take out that peak. Take that out, they'll have an uptrend. Not far to go, really. Okay, 45 looks like about $7 more, we would have it right there. $7 more. That's not much for gold. Gold can do that. All right, so there's gold on the daily chart, still stuck in a daily downtrend. Neutral bullish up here, okay? Up in the upper third, ready to climb into quadrant 4. Neutral bullish on that. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH in an uptrend yesterday, falling a little bit of falling out of bed there, bearish engulfing. All right, closing just over the bullish trap, over a 17 EMA there. Notice price action up over the all-time high anchored VWAP up here in quadrant 4. That is bullish SMH. Keep an eye on Intel and AMD. All right, let's take a look at XLK, technology sector. All right, technology sector in a downtrend, but really consolidating here up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. The only reason they're in a daily downtrend is they took out and made a lower low right through here on these candles that spiked down underneath the 17. So this is really, it's in a downtrend technically, but obviously this is bullish hanging out in quadrant 4. You can see how many times they attack those all-time highs. You got it once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times right there. Okay, so price action still hanging out up in quadrant 4. It's in a downtrend technically, but this is very bullish, being up here in quadrant 4 and leaning on the top line of the quads. That's really bullish there. So SMH and technology sector, that's semiconductors, technology, looking strong, looking good. Let's take a look at XLF. Now, XLF moving up and giving some of it up. Still in an uptrend. They have to take out this low down here to convert and make a downtrend right there. Okay, price action. All right, still in an uptrend, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the trap, underneath the 17, caught underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so XLF hanging out still in the upper third. That's bullish, so kind of neutral bullish there, up there on XLF. Let's take a look at XLI's in a downtrend. XLI making a wedge right on top of the midpoint, not looking good for XLI. Moving up, giving it up, still neutral, not neutral bearish, just neutral, hanging out here at the midpoint, finding support. Okay, so XLI just neutral, moving up, giving it up, and again, just hanging out here at the midpoint. Let's take a look at XLU. These are utilities. Okay, utilities moving up and giving it up here. Okay, price action, just hanging out here at the midpoint, just like XLI. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, going up, giving it up, just neutral right there. Okay, they're in a downtrend just like XLI because they took out, see these lows below the 17, these candles? Well, they made a lower low right here. Okay, same with XLI. Okay, see these candles right here below the 17. And these ones here, well, they made a lower low, so that put them in a downtrend there, XLI and XLU. Let's take a look at XLE. All right, XLE was really badly beaten up here. They're finding in a little uptrend going on right now. Now, question is, how far would that uptrend take them? All right, so kind of neutral, bearish right through here, but they are in an uptrend. Make a note of that. Price action for yesterday is, I gotta say, it looks like an inside day, lower high, higher low closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Be nice to see this put in a little higher low here and see if the bulls can step in and take out that high and create the uptrend right now. Okay, right now they're still in a downtrend. They got a lot of work to do to create the uptrend. They have to go all the way back up here. I doubt they're going to do that. I really think they'll probably put in a W pattern or a lower high and a higher low, and then they'll have a chance at taking that out to convert and negate the downtrend and convert it to an uptrend. Okay, got a little uptrend going here. It's a nice little run of looks like about 12 days right through there. Okay, see if they can hold on to that. Like to see them create a higher low or even consolidate. Okay, well, you can see price action down here in the lower third. All right, that's not bullish, barely neutral. So it's just neutral bearish, leaning on being bearish if they get back here in quadrant 4. So neutral bearish here on XLE. All right, caught underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see they've been caught underneath that since, well, April of 2024. Okay, that'll do it to you right there. Got themselves a little double top. All right, let's take a look at XRT. That's our retail sector. Retail sector is not moving up. All right. If they take out this low, they'll be in a downtrend. They took out this low right here, so that puts them in a downtrend. So they're moving back to the uptrend line right here. Price action moving up, giving up more than I wanted to see them give up. But maybe they find support on the top of those peaks of this consolidation. It looks like they did for a little while. And we'll see if they can get that going again. Now they have to go all the way back up here to convert and negate the downtrend is to take out those highs up there over the 17. So a lot of work to be done for the XRT. They were looking good, bull flagging up here. Failed to break out and make another higher high or significant higher high. With that, they're probably going to come back and visit this low. See how low they're going to get, but it looks like they got a date with this low. Probably going to challenge that to see if that's going to hold. So there's XRT in a slight downtrend. I mean, this is the real candles underneath the uptrend there. So you can call it an uptrend, you call it a downtrend, but they took out these lows. If they take out those lows, they'll definitely be in a downtrend right there. So there's XRT. All right, let's take a look at IYT transports. In a downtrend, they took out those lows, and these lows. Price action for yesterday. Hope my candle's right. All right, outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over bullish trap over 17 EMA. So transport's trying to find their way back up to the upper third. So moving up, giving it up, that's neutral, but they're still in a downtrend. They would have to take out this high to negate the downtrend and be in an uptrend. Chances are they're going to put in a lower high right here at the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, so IYT in a downtrend. So we got financials in a weak uptrend because they're moving down. All right, they're not moving up. We've got technology and semiconductors in good uptrends. Really, technology's in a downtrend, but it's up there in quadrant 4. So technology and semiconductors are looking good. Financials not quite hit a downtrend. They're kind of neutral bullish. All right. But they're not moving up. That's for sure. All right. And then we've got IYT transports in a downtrend, but on the bullish side of the midpoint. So not very good look for a robust rally. All right. Unless we can start making some higher highs and some higher lows. We'll see what happens here, okay? It's not looking good for the market right now, okay? So maybe we got some consolidation to do for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and then we could see ourselves a possible rally over the summertime. Anyways, IYT right there. Let's take a look at our economic package. Back to the dollar. Okay, this will be yesterday's candle. So you see that big red bearish engulfing move right there. That was looking good, but then they lost it. And you can see right there, price action for yesterday closed at about 108.69, 108.67, 108.70 area right there. That would be yesterday's daily candle. Still way up over the 200. Really don't want a bullish an uptrend or a dollar, or don't want a strong dollar, all right, because it just makes our goods and services more expensive. When we go to sell them overseas, it makes it difficult for us to make sales and put our boys to work anyway. So there's U.S. dollar. On Max Payne, let's see what we get for Max Payne. Max Payne for today, that's the 6th. Why is that the 6th? Let's try this one more time. Here's the 8th. Max Payne, 589. We were just there in the pre-market. We'll see if we can find our way back. About 1 put to every call that expires today. All right? These are just the puts and calls that expires today. Equal puts, equal calls, just about right there. Okay, on the earnings calendar. Now, recently on the earnings calendar, they've been changing things around on me. Because Friday we had a couple of financials reporting, and then it bumped down to 1 yesterday. So things could be changing. All right. Anyways, Wednesday, today, all right, there's some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. Thursday, markets closed. Infosys, again, familiar names. They may hold off till Friday, Infosys. Familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets there, okay? 93 billion on Infosys. Friday, let's see what we got for Friday this time. All right, we've got Wells Fargo, but they're really not quite sure if they're going to report 239 billion. I thought Bank of America was in there, and they seem to have left the pack. Maybe they're going to report next Friday or Thursday. Anyways, for Friday, right after our day off on Thursday, Wells Fargo's projected to report. I don't think they're going to do it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We'll see. 239 billion. That will help out the financial sector. If some good numbers come in, maybe we can see financial sector start moving back up towards those highs. That would be nice. So keep an eye on Wells Fargo. On Monday, what do we got for Monday? Again, KB Home, some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. For the economic calendar, for today, MBA mortgage applications, 7 o'clock, ADP employment report, 8:15, it already came out. Jobless claims, 8:30, already came out. Christopher Waller's going to speak. Wholesale inventories, 10 o'clock. Petroleum report, gas report, and FOMC minutes at 2. So there'll be a whole lot of volatility at 2 p.m. Okay, so there's Thursday. Remember, we're off. All right, markets are closed. Got some Fed speakers. That's about it there. Friday, employment situation, 8:30. Consumer sentiment at 10. And a rig count at 1. So that's it. All right, traders. If you got any questions, drop them into the chat. If not, I'm going to try to get my video rendered and put up there for all to see. All right. Thank you, Alan, for posting that. Appreciate that. All right, traders, everybody, let's have a good day. Let me get the QQQ game plan posted up here. Thank you.